Professional wrestling is a dangerous business, perhaps even more so today than it was 25 years ago. Even when taking daily bumps on thumbtacks and barbed wire was considered the norm, the evolution of the art form means that wrestlers are trying harder than ever to maintain audience interest by performing risky maneuvers, thereby drastically increasing the risk of injury. Even in WWE, where such spots are more reserved and protected, there's been no shortage of wrestlers going down with an injury. But here are the worst WWE injuries of 2025. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Number 10. Kevin Owens and Piper Niven neck injury. Breakthroughs in advanced medical testing and the fact that Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Paige all returned after having been forced into retirement with life-threatening neck injuries should inject both Kevin Owens and Piper Niven with optimism. Owens and Niven are both currently sidelined with potential career-ending neck problems. Kevin has been out of action since March's Elimination Chamber, and Piper having not wrestled since August. A few details have been made public regarding the condition of the Scotswoman, but on the contrary, Kevin Owens has been brutally honest about his ailment, having reportedly been dealing with niggling pain for about 5 months before he pulled out of WrestleMania 41. The prize fighter explained the harrowing ordeal on Cody Rhodes' What Do You Want to Talk About podcast. It's been such a frustrating process. We're letting my spinal cord heal as much as we can on its own before we go in for the surgery, because how extensive the surgery will be depends on how my spinal cord looks when we go in there. We're waiting till mid-July to do the surgery. Hopefully it's a normal neck fusion. It might not be, we don't know. I felt fine, my neck's been fine. I'm not in pain. I have no symptoms of what you would expect somebody with a spinal cord injury to have. In the last week, for some reason, the symptoms all came in one shot. Every symptom you'd expect me to have, the pain in the neck, the stuff going down the arms, the legs not really responding, it's all been happening, so it's been pretty effing brutal. I can't wait for the surgery, and then to move forward, whatever that looks like, but it's been very frustrating. Kevin Owens has since undergone the surgery he alluded to, however, no timetable has been set for his return to the ring, should he ever be permitted to do so. If things all go well, we should expect Kevin Owens back for WrestleMania 43. Number 9.
WrestleMania 43? I ain't gonna lie now, neck injuries, that is like serious. I didn't even know Paige was like planning on returning, or she returned because of I remember she had the neck injury. I didn't even know she returned back to the ring, so that's good. But I don't think she's wrestling now, is she? I don't know. I'm not for sure.
If things all go well, we should expect Kevin Owens back for WrestleMania 43. Number 9. Liv Morgan dislocated shoulder. One of the few on this list to have made a full recovery is Liv Morgan, as she returned to WWE programming at Survivor Series War Games, helping Dominic Mysterio become a 2-time Intercontinental Champion after low-blowing John Cena. It was a celebrated comeback for one of the company's most improved workers of the last year, but the injury that sidelined her couldn't have occurred at a worse time. On Raw's June 16th broadcast, Liv, who was wrestling Kairi Sane, was pulled down to the mat face first, outstretching her arms to soften the blow. Unfortunately for Morgan, this resulted in a dislocated right shoulder practically as soon as the match began, rendering her unable to continue. Most frustratingly for WWE, this scuppered all plans for their second Evolution event just a few weeks later. There, Liv and Judgment Day partner Raquel Rodriguez were going to reportedly defend their women's tag team championships against the Bella Twins. That didn't happen obviously, and the entire card was set to be written from scratch as a result of Morgan going down, with Nikki Bella joining the Battle Royal lineup and the women's tag team titles being defended by Rodriguez and Judgment Day newbie Roxanne Perez.
You know an injury is serious when a wrestler is unable to continue, because they usually they fight through the pain and they'll just be like, all right, whatever, I deal with it whenever the match is over. But when they're unable to continue, it's bad. I can't even wrestle. I can't even go along with the script. Triple H, I can't go along with the script. My shoulder fucked up. A dislocated shoulder gotta hurt. That even sound. Thinking about it just give me the.
Against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, the Kabuki Warriors, and Sol Ruka and Zarya. Number 8. Penta and Sheamus, shoulder injury. Designing a tournament in professional wrestling will always run the risk of performers withdrawing due to injury, in turn throwing the entire bracket into disarray. Such was the case with WWE's Last Time Is Now tournament, as both Penta and Sheamus were forced to pull out on account of their shoulders becoming mangled. Sheamus was the first to go, being announced via social media as having picked up an undisclosed shoulder injury that resulted in the quarterfinal position being taken by The Miz. That presumably occurred during one of the Celtic Warriors' rigorous workouts. Secondly, and more prominently however, was Penta, whose shoulder was messed up during his second round match. Wrestling solo Sikoa, the masked grappler descended onto Sikoa with a Hurricane Rana off the barricade, though he failed to secure the full rotation needed to complete the move safely, crashed down hard on his left shoulder. The errant fall has sidelined Penta ever since, throwing his Lucha Brothers reunion with brother Ray Phoenix into doubt. Number 7. JD McDonough, broken rib and punctured lung. Joining WWE in 2017 saw JD McDonough develop.
Wrestling is so dangerous. All these injuries sound so painful and so severe. That's what I be saying. Like, people be saying wrestling is fake. Like, these are real injuries. Wrestlers be having surgeries and all type of stuff. Like, it may be like predetermined, but like you really can get serious injuries from wrestling, man. So salute to all the wrestlers, because y'all put y'all body through the ringer.
Punctured lung.
No pun intended.
Joining WWE in 2017 saw JD McDonough develop a penchant for pain, with such precarious spots including him being caught coming off the top of the War Games cage with an RKO. But in January of 2025, the Irishman realized that he had to reel himself in to avoid entering early retirement. Challenging the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships alongside Finn Balor, McDonough attempted an Asai moonsault into Ivar at ringside. Unfortunately, JD and Ivar were positioned on the side of the ring, where the announcer's table was placed. This resulted in the Irish Ace's head bashing right off the table in the most revolting visual. Though he somehow managed to finish the match, McDonough could be seen collapsing as he headed backstage, leaving many fearing the worst. A bruised rib and a punctured lung was diagnosed for JD, who missed WrestleMania 41 as a result. Number 6. Zoe Stark, torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus. Now it really is time for Zoe Stark to retire the springboard missile dropkick. As majestic as it may look, it's left her on the injured list for over half a year, as an awkward landing when performing the move on Kairi Sane back in May resulted in Stark tearing her ACL, MCL, and meniscus. Flying into Zayn, Zoe undershot her impressive coast-to-coast impersonation, coming down with all her weight onto her right leg, which buckled under the pressure. She was removed from the match immediately. In a gut-wrenching update posted to her Instagram, she detailed a toll a stray dropkick has taken on her, which hits harder once you recall that this isn't her first instance of suffering such an injury. Now, unfortunately, this isn't the only instance in 2025 of Zoe Stark's missile dropkick going awry. It's number 5, Dakota Kai, concussion. On the January 27th Raw, Dakota Kai's dreams of headlining WrestleMania were shattered when her head was almost knocked clean off her shoulders after taking Zoe Stark's inhumane missile dropkick. The spot, which occurred while Kai and Stark were tagging with Io Sky and Shayna Baszler respectively, was well structured. Shayna missed a clothesline as Dakota ducked, who then ran the ropes, leaped over the Queen of Spades, and was instantly beheaded by an incoming Zoe Stark. The dropkick immediately initiated WWE's concussion protocol, which resulted in Dakota Kai being taken off the road and thus missing the annual Women's Royal Rumble match. Number 4, Chad Gable, torn rotator cuff. Unable to catch a break, Chad Gable, who was masquerading on WWE programming at the time as the original El Grande Americano, supposedly, was shelved with a torn rotator cuff, with now rumors of Ludwig Kaiser having since donned the Americano mask, doing probably a better job than Gable did with the role. Written off television after taking an arm breaker from Penta, Gable would confirm that damage was done to his rotator cuff, though the injury didn't dampen his spirits. Instead, Chad made good use of his prolonged time away from the ring to spend quality time with his young family. Unfortunate circumstances, but you know what, I'm looking at the silver lining here. I got a little injury to my rotator cuff, but what it did do was buy me some time off the road to be home with my family and do stuff like this. Come to a baseball game on a Sunday, which I never got to do. Now, in a positive update, Chad Gable is now nearing a return to action, though whether or not he returns as himself or as El Grande Americano is a question currently left unanswered. Although knowing WWE, it will culminate in a mask versus mask showdown at WrestleMania 42 after they milk the Spider-Man pointing meme as much as possible. Number 3, Rey Mysterio, torn groin and ruptured eardrum. Now let's be fair, there's never a good time for a wrestler to go down with an injury, but the day before WrestleMania sounds particularly cruel. Such was the case for the legend Rey Mysterio, as a master of the 619 tore his groin and ruptured his eardrum on the final SmackDown to air ahead of WrestleMania 41. Tagging with Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee to send off Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, Mysterio could be seen favoring his groin as he, Fenix, and Lee celebrated their. The sudden injuries resulted in the Hall of Famer being replaced in his Mania match the following day by Phoenix, who was upset by Americano in an otherwise thrilling encounter. Rey Mysterio, who's no stranger to nagging injuries, was upbeat despite the most unfortunate of circumstances, and has now since returned to WWE programming to give his son Dominic another telling off. Number 2, Seth Rollins, wing scapula. Now again, there's never a good time for a wrestler to go down with an injury. Seth Rollins knows this all too well. Tearing his ACL in November 2015 meant that he had to relinquish the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and miss out on WrestleMania 32, and now 10 years later, he faces a similar predicament. He emerged from Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia with a winged scapula. In layman's terms, his shoulder blade was left protruding from where it should be. The injury is believed to be a result of the mighty coast-to-coast headbutt Rollins executed on Cody Rhodes during their Crown Jewel Championship match, the spot being one of the several uncanny moves used by Seth to get his victory over the American Nightmare. Rollins was ejected from the Vision 2 nights later and is currently expected to miss WrestleMania 42. However, should he recover in time, a match versus the ex-Vision stablemate Bron Breakker would reportedly be the plan. Number 1. Bianca Belair, broken fingers. And whilst you may have read otherwise, it is actually three fingers.
I actually seen a picture of Bianca Belair broken finger.
Bianca Belair is broken, not just one, and the rehabilitation process has been a nightmare per the EST herself. The few pictures she has shared of the recovery digits makes for a chilling viewing if you're squeamish. Belair picked up the injury during her acclaimed WrestleMania 41 triple threat versus Rhea Ripley and the defending Women's World Champion Io Sky, and has been out of action ever since, with her latest appearance being as a guest referee for Jade Cargill and Naomi's No Holds Barred showdown at Evolution. Now, in more positive news, however, the Triple Crown champion was featured in a recent promotional advertisement for WrestleMania 42, hinting that she will be cleared for in-ring action by the time April 18th and 19th roll around. If it goes any smoother, a Royal Rumble return is more likely. But there you have it, folks. 10 of the worst.
Damn, man, a broken finger can have you out for that long. Like, there's no way she can like repair the finger. Well, that is tough because it's like, is it completely like broken and there's no way they could fix it and put it back into place? I don't know, man. It looked painful. It looked real painful. But that's gonna do it for the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that like button for your boy. Hit that post notification bell so you can get notified when I drop another banger. Shout out to all the wrestlers out there, man, because y'all put y'all bodies through hell. Some people don't appreciate what y'all do, and they take what y'all do for a joke because they don't believe wrestling is real. But man, y'all put y'all body through hell, man, in order to entertain us, and yeah, man. So put y'all body on the line for the business. So I respect that. But I'm out of here, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button, and I'm out of here.